Good afternoon, everyone. To the Director of Finance and our esteemed colleagues, I want to welcome you here as today I will be presenting my policy brief on supporting non-traditional students. My name is Raymond James. I am the policy analysis here at XYZ University. This presentation will highlight the key aspects of my executive summary, which will be including the challenges, the data insight, also proposed solutions, and my recommendation to support the issue of our non-traditional students. Background on XYZ University. As we think about this great institution, there are four key areas that come to mind. First is our academics. We have a wide range of programs here at XYZ, from anything from nursing to engineering to broadcast to drama to sports administration, just an array of programs that makes our institution thrive and that more attracted by other students to come here and take and gain their education. Looking at our new learning, XYZ University is always staying up on the latest technology. Here, we want to make sure that we are up to date, make sure we have what the students need to be gainfully employed when they leave our institution to go work in the workforce. Looking at our ethics to the community, we are very, very open to diversity, and we have a great diverse population here at XYZ University. So we want to keep that on a good up and up for our university, making sure that XYZ is still being out there in the spotlight when it comes to diversity. And lastly is our supportive to the community. What great way to highlight what our students are doing here in our community, what our faculty is doing here in the community, what our staff are doing here in the community. XYZ has to make sure we take care of the community we serve before we can go outside our own borders and take care of the other communities that we support. So when we look at identifying the problems, there was three different areas that came to mind looking here at supporting our non-traditional students at XYZ. The first one is we're looking at our inflexible scheduling. Inflexible scheduling deals with how are we accommodating our non-traditional students? Do we have classes set up that offer them opportunities to come in the evening? Do we have classes set up where offer them opportunities to be able to take some courses online? Do we have things set up that make it easy for them to come and take a class here, knowing that they might have different obligations from financial, family, career? Those all could be a roadblock when it comes to looking at taking courses as a non-traditional student. The next thing is, what about our outdated financial guidelines? As I looked in a deep dive into our institution, I noticed that a lot of our financial obligations or scholarships or any kind of way students can receive money to attend school is mostly geared to our traditional students. Didn't see anything in there that pertains to helping out our non-traditional students. What can we do to break that barrier? Are there opportunities that we can use to set up for scholarships to help support our non-traditional students? Is there ways that we can set up some kind of relief fund where if they have any kind of obligation as a child or something that can use to help watch them while they're taking classes here at the institution? Those are things that I thought that was a pretty much of a barrier when I was doing my research. And lastly, and not the least, is our limited support on services. There are an array of different obligations that our non-traditional students go through. Anything from, again, childcare, anything from, not having the resources to come here and take classes. Maybe not having just somebody to keep them up on the up and up and give them the positivity they need to let them know they can do it. These are things that we need to see what we can do here at our institution to support these students. Looking at the root issue, I, after doing an investigation and looking into the policy, I noticed that there was a big mismatch between our institution and non-traditional students. Again, I looked into the scheduling of the classes. Most of the schedules of the classes are basically face-to-face. A lot of times non-traditional students are not able to come and take a face-to-face class. Or if anything, is it set up for the right time frame for them to be able to take the class? A lot of times classes here at our institution are between the 8 to 5 p.m. time block. Sometimes non-traditional students might need to take a class in the evening time. Do we have things set up like that for them? Financial aid, focusing on full-time students alone. Again, a lot of resources from Pell Grants, scholarships, any kind of resources financially is mostly geared to our traditional students. We need to break that barrier. We need to be able to set up some kind of relief for our non-traditional students to make it easy for them to come here and obtain their education. And last but not least, it's the lack of adequate childcare, career services, and advising. A lot of things are geared for traditional students. I didn't see a lot of support that help non-traditional students when it comes to those areas here at XYZ University. Looking at the data, I was able to go into the NCE and pull the information from 2023, looking at our non-traditional students versus our traditional students. Two categories that jumped out to me was graduation and also our retention rate. As you can see in the chart here, the graduation rate from a non-traditional student compared to a traditional student, you're looking at almost about a 25 to 30% difference in the graduation rate. If you look at our retention rate, you're looking at, again, at least about a good 20 to 25% difference, where in retention for non-traditional students, you're looking at almost about 50%, compared to our traditional students, you're looking at around about 74 to 75%. Where can we actually help with those numbers? What can we do to actually increase those numbers? Could we actually implement some opportunities for online classes? Could we actually implement some opportunities for different financial uh, aids? Or could we also implement anything that deals with career service? Those are things that we need to see here at our institution that would make things easier for a non-traditional student. So there was three solutions that I looked at to try to see which one would be a better fit to help us and also to help our non-traditional students. The first one that I looked at for a first solution was online courses. I thought this would be a great way to actually reach non-traditional students, meaning that a lot of them are going to be part-time students and majority of those are over the age of 25. How better way to be able to come and receive education than taking a class online? This right here resonates with me as I myself was a non-traditional student. I knew what it was like to try to come and take a class at a regular institution. I knew how hard it would be for me to fit into a traditional pattern. So having an opportunity to take online classes helped me to help myself. Next is I looked at what could we do for scholarships? What could we do to support our non-traditional students? Looking at that, I looked at different ways of what was given out to traditional students to what we can actually implement and mock for our non-traditional students. There are several ways to receive scholarships. There are several ways to receive assistance. Why can't we put that same path in place for non-traditional students? And last but not least, career counseling. Big factor here at our institution when it comes to helping these students to obtain their goal, be employed, and be out in the field in our community, supporting our community as also representing XYZ University. What things could we do to help them in this area? Again, I just mentioned how most non-traditional students are going to be over the age of 24. Well, what could we do if we have obligation of a family? What could we do if we have obligation of working full time? What could we do if we have obligation of taking care of someone that could be a father, mother, or grandparent? Or what could we do just to give them the resources to help them be able to achieve what they're actually seeking, which is an education? So, saying all of those, my recommendation out of the three solutions that I just presented to you will be to offer online courses. Offering online courses will help with three different areas here at XYZ University. It will first help with the accessibility challenges that our non-traditional students have. It also would align with our institutional goals dealing with equity and inclusivity here at the institution. And also it will provide long-term cost savings and scalable enrollment options that will help us with what we're trying to do, which is making accessibility for all students here at our institution. This recommendation, I think, will be the best. This recommendation will take XYZ to the next level. And I think it will be something that we can do as a college to help improve our non-traditional student here. So in conclusion, I just went through my policy review dealing with non-traditional students. I gave you the background about our institution. I also gave you some data looking at the numbers from graduation and retention. I also gave you some proposed solutions that we could use here to help with this issue. And I also gave you my recommendation. So concluding, I think adopting online courses here at XYZ University will do three different things. It will improve accessibility for our non-traditional students. It will enhance retention and the graduation rates here at our school. And also it will fulfill the university mission of equity and conclusion, making everything here accessible for all students, not only just traditional, but also non-traditional. That concludes my presentation. I hope this was a very fulfilling information, just as it was for me to actually go and do some research on. If there are now any questions or concerns, I will take those at this time. Thank you.